Now let's talk about text, one of the most important elements of a good cover design. We will cover some essential typography techniques in this lesson and more in future lessons. These are widely used in top portfolios, and once you recognize them, you will see them everywhere. So I will start by adding a word portfolio. Before typing, you can explore different fonts and decide what works best for your design. With a bit of practice, you will get a feel for which fonts are suitable for titles, cover pages, body text, or section headers. For this example, I'm just using one of the fonts I already have, and I'm happy with how it looks. I will pick a matching color and type out the word port. Actually, this version doesn't look quite right. Let me adjust that in a moment. I have just typed the name using the font I selected earlier, and I'm going to stick with this one for now. As for the color, I already showed you how to pick a color. You can either use a specific hex code, select it manually from the toolbar, or simply use the color from an existing shape. In my case, I want the text to match the color of the shape I previously created. So I'm just going to sample that color directly. Okay, done. Now I will type the word port as part of the portfolio. By the way, in addition to choosing the font and color, you can also apply effects to your text. As you can see here, there are quite a few options. I will just go with a simple bold version for now. You can also adjust the size of your text from this panel. If the text is too small, like this one, you can scale it up. I'm going to use size 60, which looks just right for this layout. Okay. Now let's do something more interesting. We will apply a stroke effect to the text. To do that, double-click on the text layer to open the Layer Style panel. This is where you can make all sorts of customizations to your text. Now, let's activate the stroke option by checking the box. Then click directly on the word stroke to access its detailed settings. Here you can customize things just like color and size. I'm going to pick a color that contrasts well so it stands out clearly. Okay. For size, I will try something just like 10 pixels. It looks clean and sharp. If it is too large, just scale it down a bit until it fits your design nicely. You can also choose the position of the stroke. outside, which places the stroke around the outer edges of the text, inside, which doesn't look great with this font, as you see, or center, which is what I will go with. It gives the look I'm aiming for. We will keep the rest of the setting in their default state for now, but you can always come back and explore different options. One more thing. You also have the option to add shadow effects, but for this design, I will skip that part. Another fun thing we can do here is play with the fill type. Right now, it's filled with a solid color, as you see, but I can click on it and see it gives me a gradient stroke instead. Now I can go in and adjust that gradient to experiment a bit. These kinds of tweaks really help make your text look more unique and visually interesting. I can also adjust the angle of the gradient, like you see here. These are things worth exploring to see what works and whether it enhances your design. Over here, you also have different gradient styles, but I won't go into that now, since it's not really what we are focusing on today. Another option you have is using patterns. Photoshop comes with some default pattern presets, like seasonal ones or other decorative textures. We will explore how to create custom patterns in a different lesson, but for now, I already have some custom patterns made. If you design a full pattern, apply it to your text, can actually look great. But that's not what I'm doing right now. I will just stick with what I had. I wanted to show you how this stroke looks with a magenta color, just as a quick example. But for my final design, I will choose a different stroke color. Now that I have set it up, I will click OK, and at this point, I want to separate the stroke text effect from the original file. So reduce the fill to 0. Now I have the text box that only shows the stroke. After that, I will reposition it, but there are also some essential things we need to cover regarding text editing. First, if you double-click the text or hold down Ctrl key, you can select the entire word. Then from the character panel, you can apply a variety of effects to your text. Some of these options are available in the top toolbar as well, but in the character panel, you get more control. From here, I can change the font size just like we did before. But something really useful is adjusting the spacing between letters, also known as tracking. This is especially helpful when you want your outlines or text edges to align perfectly. You can use it to adjust your text layout so that everything lines up nicely. Whether you are designing a poster, working on a portfolio or doing book layout. It is a powerful feature that Photoshop provides. For example, if I set the tracking to -10, the letters will move too close to each other. And that doesn't really look good for this specific design. I didn't really like how close the letters were to each other, so I'm going to increase the tracking a little. I think a value like 100 should work well. Okay, and as you can see, the letters now have more space between them, which gives the text a cleaner and more professional look. Let's walk through that step together again. After adjusting the letter spacing, you can still customize the color and apply various text effects if the font, supports it. And it's very important. For example, if I enable a shadow effect, you will notice it adds some depth to the text. But I'm not going to use it here because I prefer a simpler, cleaner design. Now I will make sure the text stays in uppercase mode. There we go. That looks good. Next, I will position the text properly. I think placing it right here works well. So I might scale it up a little more. I'll set the font size to 72 pt for now. So far, we have learned the main technique in this lesson, how to apply a stroke to the text layer in Photoshop.